Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. I hope you're doing well. Today I bring you another recipe in my series of Mexican inspired recipes. This one is ridiculously tasty and it's actually very simple to make. It just takes a little bit of time. We're going to be making some delicious pork carnitas and we're going to serve them in a delicious taco. Doesn't it sound fantastic already? Let's look at the ingredients that we're going to need. You're going to need oil, pork, I've got pork neck and spices, ground coriander, cumin, cayenne pepper, paprika, bay leaves, cinnamon sticks, some garlic, salt and pepper, and also jalapeños, onion, and fresh coriander. As usual, the full list of ingredients will be in the description below. This recipe honestly couldn't get any simpler, so the first step is to prepare our pork. As I mentioned, I've got some pork neck, which is great for braising. And I'm just gonna cut it into chunks. I wanna get chunks that are about this size. Since we're gonna be cooking this for 3, maybe 4 hours, don't be too bothered about getting everything the same size. It's all gonna cook down eventually. You can see some of my chunks have a lot of fat, but we want to leave all of that in. This is going to be key to when we're cooking our pork. With all my pork ready, all I have to do is put the spices on top and mix it all together. So I'm adding my cayenne, paprika, cumin, ground coriander, and salt and pepper. And just mix it all together. I'm going to use my hands because I want to make sure that all the bits of pork are coated with the spices. Okay, my pork is now all covered in my spice mix, so we can move on with the next step in the recipe. I'm going to put my pork into my pot. And I can add in my garlic. Just try to spread that around. Finally, I can throw in my bay leaves and my cinnamon sticks. For a bit of citrus flavor, I'm gonna add in the juice of a lemon. You could also use orange or lime. Next, I'm just gonna add in some water. I want to almost cover all of my pork. And all we have to do is bring it to the boil. Let's have a look at how our carnitas are looking. So I can see that my liquid is just starting to simmer now, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to give it a helping hand before it went into the oven, otherwise it would take too long for the water to come to temperature in the oven. So now that it's bubbling away, I'm gonna transfer it to the oven and we're gonna cook it at around 150 to 170 degrees for 2-3 hours. What we want to see is that all of the liquid will evaporate and then the fat from the pork will render out and it will fry the meat in the oven. Obviously we're going to put it in with the lid off to allow the steam to escape, and we're going to come back in every maybe 20 minutes to half an hour to give it a bit of a stir and just help the cooking along. So I'm gonna pop it in the oven now. Lid off, and I will see you in about 3 hours. Since I have a lot of downtime because my pork is in the oven, I'm gonna make a nice salsa that we can drizzle on top when we're serving it later. So let's do that now. I'm gonna make a delicious variation of a jalapeno salsa taquera. I've got some nice jalapenos and other green chilies here, which all I'm gonna do is slice lengthwise. Once that's done, I'm gonna heat up some oil in my pan. Okay, Okay, once my oil has come to temperature, I'm just gonna put the peppers in. I'm leaving the seeds on because I like my spicy food. And all I want to do is cook them through, but make sure that they get a nice dark color on both sides. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get my garlic and my onions ready. My onion, I'm just gonna dice. Gonna flip one of my jalapeños to see how they're getting on. Not quite colored enough yet, so we can leave it for a bit longer. Just be careful about putting your face right over the pan while the jalapenos are cooking, because you get a bit of a whiff and it may make you want to sneeze. I'm gonna flip over my peppers now. Make sure you give your tongues a quick test. And that's exactly the color that I'm looking for. And to save some time, I'm actually gonna put in my garlic now and my onions too. I also want them to get a bit of color. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to my onions and garlic. Also a few cracks of pepper. Okay, my jalapenos and my onions are ready. So I'm gonna put them straight into my chopper. You can see how I've got some beautiful color here, and they're also nice and soft. I've got my onions and my jalapenos into my mini chopper here, so I'm gonna put in some coriander as well. And we're gonna add in a drizzle of oil and mix it all together. I'm gonna add in the remainder of my oil. Maybe half, I'll do the other half later. And the rest of my oil. I finished mixing my sauce. This is the consistency. It's quite thick. You could make it thinner by adding more oil, but I think this would be good for my tacos. So I'm just gonna put it into a little bowl and let it cool until my carnitas are ready. It's been 3 hours, my carnitas are ready. Let's have a look. And here they are, and they're absolutely perfect. The meat is totally falling apart, all of the liquid is gone, and I've got some nice kind of crusty bits on some of the meat as well, which is exactly what I wanted. Let me get my wrapping station ready and we can taste one. Everything is ready now. I'm gonna take some small tortillas and put my carnitas on top. I'm gonna top it out with some cheese, some chopped coriander, and our salsa taquera. Only a few dollars because it's quite spicy. Wrap it up. This is so tasty. The pork is so flavorful, completely falling apart, and that salsa really helps to bring out the flavor. For a recipe that literally took a couple of minutes to get ready, you just have to leave it in the oven for a couple of hours. This is absolutely perfect. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this recipe, make sure you give it a big like and leave me a comment down below what you thought of it, and if you try it, how you get on. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my delicious recipes. Don't forget to turn on notifications, and be sure to check my previous series, for example, my traditional Irish recipe series. And follow my Instagram so you can keep up with me during the week. With that, I'll leave you for this video, and enjoy. Adios! Sorry. So I'm gonna go to that. Oh, no, I can't. Excuse me.